Hello. As a complete beginner, I decided that my first 3D printer was going to be the Ender 3 from Creality. This video will be my journey unboxing, building, and, if we get that far, the first print. So if you want to see a beginner make a hash of it, stick around for more. Hello, my name is Ray and welcome to my channel. This is the very first video that I produced for YouTube, so please bear with me with the quality. My equipment's not particularly brilliant. I'm recording this with a Logitech HD webcam and a headset boom microphone, so I'm hoping that the video and the audio is going to be of a suitable quality. So this is the Ender 3 that I ordered. I ordered it from the Creality store on AliExpress, and I ordered it from the German store because, being in the UK, I wanted to avoid any import duty from importing it from China. Once I'd ordered it, a kind lady from Creality emailed me and said that actually they now had a UK warehouse, so it was shipped from the UK warehouse, and it came about 2 weeks, I think it took to arrive, so I was quite impressed. Once I got the shipping notification, it suddenly dawned on me that I didn't have any filament and it was going to arrive and I wouldn't be able to use it. I was aware that a small amount was supplied in the box, but not enough to do anything serious with. So I looked on Amazon to get something delivered reasonably quickly. And in the end, I went for the Sunlu PLA, so PLA Plus. I got it in the red. You can see that just there. So I don't know if this is a good filament or a bad filament. I'm hoping that it's going to be okay for me. So we'll see how that happens. As you can see, I've already actually opened this box, and that's because when it was delivered, the corner here was all crushed. So I was quite concerned that it had been dropped and damaged. Luckily, it hadn't. It'd been dropped, but there was no damage to anything inside. So let's get it out and see what we've got in here. So as you can see, it's packed quite well. A decent layer of foam on the top, and then we've got so a few bits inside. So instruction book. So if you've watched any other unboxing videos, you'll probably have seen that before. We've got, like I say, filament, component for the belt tension, limit switch, some spare Bowden tubes and a spare nozzle. It's quite nice. SD card, bit of filament, and for some reason, and I'm not quite sure what this is for. If you know what this is for, if you could leave a comment in the video, that'd be great. A very fine needle and a bit of foam. I'm a bit surprised by that. Anyway, put it on the side. So what we've got here is various fixings, some tools, cable ties, looks like a pair of cutters, and we've got a scraping tool. I assume that's for getting prints off the bed. UK power cord. Oh. We've also got a European power cord as well, that's a bonus. So various bits of extrusion. So this is the I'm going to get this right, the y-axis and the top section. A bit more packaging. That I believe is the spool holder. So we've got the extrusions for the side and the lead screw. So that's quite nice. This is actually all on camera. It looks like it's been greased, that's probably why it's in the tube. I'm still going to keep that in there so I don't lose it. So we've got the mechanism for the extruder and the y-axis limit switch and stepper motor mechanisms. Z-axis motor, spool holder, the carriage for the Z-axis. I can get these right. A bit more packaging. Let's see the display panel. One side. So it looks like what's left is the actual base units. That's partly assembled. I'll show that better in a minute. Got it to one side. And power supply. We'll just get all these bits of packaging out of the way. So, we've got the bed, there's cables at the back, they seem quite short, okay, hope they're going to be long enough. I'm just threading that through there so I can try so the cables don't get tangled up. So one of the things that sort of worried me about this printer was this style printer with a single rail for the bed to run on, is that it's only a single and will it wobble, but it appears to be actually quite stable. I was at one point looking at the ANET A8, which has obviously got the two bearings and with the linear bearings on it, but actually that seems to be quite nice. It's catching somewhere, but that goes quite nice. It's pretty good. So one of the things that was being commented in the forum was that the bed is dished. Before I actually do anything, I'm just going to check that out. So my thought is if I get a rule, you can very slightly get it under the middle. But it's not much. And you can't go down. So it doesn't appear whether that's enough to cause an issue. I don't know. But let's get on. So instructions. Just that bit. So what we've got here. That's dear valued customer, thanks for your order. Ender 3 is our latest 3D printer. Maybe this item still need to be improved for much better. Your advice is very important to us. Highly appreciated of your kind suggestion and support. Any questions, feel free to contact us. We will do our best to help you. Happy printing and thank you. So that's a little note from the Creality team and some email addresses to email in. So we've got instructions. So within the instructions, bring it over here. You can see we've got a list of parts that we should have. So we'll probably just go through that, check those. So So we've got we've got the display, got the base unit, power supply, we've got the bracket, brilliant. We've got the extruder, we've got the mechanism for the end of the Z-axis, we've got the Y-axis, we did have it's in there, yeah. Now stepper motor for the Z-axis, limit switch in there, two nuts to go on the end of the, I'm assuming that's going to be in here. A little bag of bits and bobs. Right, rack pack, oh that's good, they're quite labelled up. Filament holders up there, two pieces, see. That must be 2020 profile cover. Yep, okay, so we've got that. Power cord, got the belt, we've got extrusions, yeah, and lead screws, that's over there. So these are the fasteners that we need. So we've got an M5x8 domed head. We should have two of those. No, we should have four of those. M5x8. Okay, got those. Two M5 T-nuts. 4 M5 T-nuts. I've actually got 3. Two M4x20s. M4x20s. I've actually got 3. 4 M4x16s. M4x16s. Need 4 of those. 1, 2, actually got 5, and the appropriate washers. M5x45, need 4. Actually got 6, and the appropriate washers. Oh, M5x25. M5x45, the other ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6, so I need 4. M5x25, I need 4 again, I've got 6. M4x18, 2. 2 of those. And I've got these two, which M4x14s and T-nuts, and they are actually not listed. Okay. Filament, guessing it's PLA, but don't know. This needle is sharp. Limit switch, Z-axis limit switch. Memory card, spare nozzles, and Bowden fittings. We've already worked on that. Tools we've got. Pair of wire cutters. Yeah, they don't look too bad. Don't show any light from them. I don't know how much of this is on video. I'm actually not looking. Cable ties. We've got various spanners, screwdrivers, nuts, bolts. That looks like we've got everything we should have. So step 1. So we need to attach these uprights. It's unpacked. Pair of scissors, that'll help. Now there's a left and right, but how do I know which is which? Ah, right, I see. So the right one has got holes in it there, and I'm assuming that's to mount the power supply on. So that one goes on the right hand side. So this one must go on the left hand side. Now I've got a set of holes here. So which way around do they go? So looking at the instructions, they go at the bottom, and that must be to mount the Z stepper motor. So they go like so, and like so. And they attach with the M5x45s. So I'm just going to spread these out here. By 25, by 45. So I'm going to put this on its side. This stuff is pouring out. It's too thick. Okay, just try and hold it. So I'm going to put these in. I'm just going to do them sort of a bit loose, just to get initial placement. Okay. I don't know if these are called Allen keys in other parts of the world, or called in the UK. I think they're called hex wrenches in America. You just need to be a bit careful to locate that. Okay, so I'm not going to do that fully tight at the moment. So we're on the other side. So again, it's got two holes, one there and one there, and the shorter distance here goes towards the bottom. We're doing it quite nicely. Okay, that's pretty good. So step 2, is to, right, before we go any further, because I've got spares of those M5 by 25s, I'm going to put them back in the bag. So that leaves them. So step 2 is to attach the display and the power supply. We'll do the power supply first. So M4 by 20s. 4 by 20s. So power supply. Again, it's one of the cheap Chinese power supplies. Aluminium case. This is a 24 volt, 15 amp power supply. The Creality is a 24 volt printer, which was one of the reasons I was attracted to it, because a lot of other printers are 12 volts. 24 volts on the bed is better, higher voltage, less current, faster warm times. This is all information I've gleaned from the internet. It's nice to see they've put a power socket and a injection molded cover to cover all the live terminals up. So hopefully this is going to be okay. So that goes here. Goes through first. No, that size down. That just screws on like so. And so you guys can see it better. The other thing I liked about this printer was the fact that everything was sort of attached to the frame of the printer, which makes it a little bit more easy to move from one place to another. I don't know if that's a benefit or not. So I'm actually going to tighten these up fully. It's not part of the structure. So that's gone on quite nicely. And then we'll need to put the display on. So on the end of 3, the display goes on the front, like so. Quite a nice position to put the display. Like I say, it makes it infinitely portable. So that attaches with M4 by 20s, 2 M4 by 20s. No, I'm wrong. That's the power supply. These are M5. M5 by 8. M5 by 8. Two of those. Actually, I'm not going to attach the display yet. The reason being is because I know later on you have to connect the cable, and it plugs into this one here, I believe, which makes it quite difficult to get at. So until I get to that stage, just to confirm it is plugged in, I think I'm going to leave that off because it doesn't affect the rest of the build. Hopefully, we'll see if I regret that decision later. So I'm going to leave that to the end. Plus the fact it means that it's not going to get in the way, leaning it over, etc., etc. So step 3 is to add the limit switch. So this here is the Z limit switch, and that's got these T-nuts, which are already attached. So these work by slotting into the frame, and as you tighten it, it makes the nut on the back rotate, which then locks it into the frame. Never actually used these. Read online that a lot of people find them really tricky. So let's see what we can do. So according to the notes, I don't know if you can see that. The bottom of the limit switch needs to be 32. Can't see that at all. Needs to be 32 millimeters from the base of the underside of the aluminium frame. So to make this work, you have to orient the nuts, orient these so they go straight up and down. I'm going to move it under the camera again. Hopefully you'll get to see it. So it goes this way. That's quite interesting. Alright, okay. So in actual fact, there is a little lug here which stops you moving it down too far. So I'm hoping that is the right measurement. So if we just confirm that. No, it's 37. Okay. It definitely says in the instructions 32 millimeters. Which means that that's not going to sit flat. Right. I'm gonna put it in as per this notch, so it sits flat against this extrusion bar. Again, just a little tight in case you sit under it, and that's worked really well. You can actually see when you tighten it up down here, you can actually see the T-nut underneath rotate as you try, but then it locks into the aluminium frame. Quite a neat way of attaching things to this extrusion. That's not a Creality thing, by the way, these are standard extrusions. Step 4 is to attach the Z motor and attach the lead screw onto that. So I'm hoping it's wobbly because I keep putting it on cables, because it's just wobbly. So Z stepper with the coupler on it. I notice it's not one of these flexible couplers, it's actually a fixed solid coupler. So I don't know if that makes things better or not. And that attaches down there. So that attaches with M4 by 18. M4 by 18. That attaches with these two screws here. So these are countersunk screws. there the screws you can see there. Get the relevant. So these are probably easier if I put them into the. Yeah, they're going to be. This sits slightly behind the. Coupler, so they're probably easier to get in while it's actually off the frame. You've still got plenty of space to get the Allen key in, as we call it. So that attaches to here, and there's two threaded holes in the actual extrusion, and that just screws in like so. I'll move the build plate out of the way while I do the other side. Oh, feels like I've got a cross thread. Nice tight. That's not a 3D printed part. There's plastic on the top of the step motor. It's actually injection molded. Quite nice. So I've still got these loose, just done on purpose. Again, it's just got the lead screw, but I'm not going to put the lead screw in at the moment. Don't want to flap around getting in the way. Step 4. So we're now on to step 5. So this is pretty good. There's 12 steps in total, and we're almost halfway through it. So step 5 is the extrusion motor. So I need another piece of this. Okay, be identifying which one's which. And it's just really easy to identify. So we've got 2 pieces here. We've got one piece that's slightly shorter, with 2 big holes each end, and one piece with a lot more holes, slightly longer. So I think that's the excess, and that's the bit that stays, that goes on the top like so. So put that to one side. I'm going to build this up. So what I might do is move this frame out of the way while we build up. While we build up the extruder. So the first thing is to put the stepper motor on. So it says B1. Okay. Just trying to figure out which end it goes on. I think, I don't know. How does this work? Okay, so now I'm a bit stuck. So right, okay. So using 2 M4x16s, which are these here, with the relevant washers. Spring washer as always to stop them coming out undone. So the end of the bar that you want is the end that's got the 2 nuts close together and the recessed one, and not the other one, which is a threaded hole, a cutout hole, and then another threaded hole. So it's the 2 threaded holes and a cutout hole. Mine's actually got a little sort of drill head dot. I don't know if that's relevant, whether that's the marking that they're using, but it doesn't say anything about a dot. The only thing the instruction says, it says B1, but there's no marking to say B1, not that I can see anyhow. And the way it works is that goes on the front face, so you've got the nut from that fixes the wheel, so this will mount on the Z-axis and go up and down, and so that goes into that recess, and then you use two of these nuts. You put the washer on first, and then you thread that through from that side and screw it. Oh, this is really awkward. Now what you can do is, once you've got it roughly in place, there's actually a hole. Oh, this is fiddly. So there's a hole here you can put your tool through. Allen key, as we call it. The problem is you've got to can't stick it too far through until you've actually got the extrusion in place. But then you've got to make sure it's lined up, otherwise you end up crossing the threads. And seeing if it's lined up is really awkward. It doesn't help, you've got the weight of the extruder stepper. Also, if you use the right size Allen key, it's better. So to make things more awkward, we've got the limit switch, and that gets in the way. So you have to align the extrusion up, but then you can't see what you're screwing into. It's not going in properly. It's definitely not going in properly. I'm not happy about that at all. I'm just going to screw a screw in, just to make sure the thread's okay. Clean out any of the swarf. That goes all the way through, that's good. One here will be the same as the other one. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm just going to check. When I tried to screw that in, it didn't want to screw in. And that's usually an indication that the thread has crossed over. And that's fine. So let's try again. We're using the box PLA to mount this up, which will then give me the ability to drop that on there flat. It's not happy. It's not happy screen using it at all. No, the screen okay. That's screwed. This is really awkward. Okay, I've dropped the washer. That's irritating. Yes, look at that, it's gone straight in now. I think because I had the opportunity to put the other one in. He's made it line up better for the first one. Again, I don't think I'm going to tighten these too tightly at the moment because I'm going to want the ability to tweak that, I think. Now how I'm going to do it when it's actually on the round. So I am going to tighten these because it will mean I take it off to adjust it anyhow. Okay, so what I've done is I've lined that up with the top face of that metal section there, so the top of the extrusion is the same level as that, so hopefully that will mean it's square. Yeah, so that was a bit more awkward than I would have expected it to be. So step 6 is to do the same other end with the carriage. Sorry, I was just reading the instructions. Well, not so much reading the instructions, but looking at the pictures. Now it's also talking about adding the extruder head. It doesn't say which order you have to do it. I'm not sure whether you have to do that before you can put this on. Doesn't look like it. So let's put this on first. We'll do it on the bench, then we'll get the other section back. So M4x16s, 2 of those. I hope I've got extras on that. I think I did count extra, didn't I? Could have lost the washer on my floor somewhere. Again, line up at the top and get these up. Okay, so that's the axis assembled. We'll bring the printer back. block a bit. I might need to loosen the nuts in the side and tweak the base. So I know that this goes that way. Stop me putting that on first before I put the extrusion on. Extruder mechanism. Possibly a bit tight. I think I can do that and then put the extruder head on. So I'm just going to twizzle it around to untangle it. Ah, no. I've got to put this on. I've got to put this on first before I put this end bracket on, because when I try and fit this on, the two nuts on the end of the wheels there actually hit the. So in the instructions where it says do these together, it doesn't say in which order to do them, but you have to do the extruder first, which means I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take this off. Then I'm going to have to attach the extruder. So what I'm going to do is, before I do that, is just make sure that the wires are not tangled up. I know the extruder goes like so. So that can slide on there, that's great. And now I can reattach that bracket. I put it upside down. Goes that way. Just trying not to scratch my build plate. A couple of these nuts and bolts back in. Snip them up. I can thread that down onto the extrusion skin. Now, like I say, that to me is a bit, it does fall on its own. I'm actually going to just sneak those eccentric nuts off a bit. Just so we've got it hits the limit switch on the bottom. It's good. So, belt. So the belt attaches to the back. I don't know what kind of belt this is, whether it's good quality belt. It does slightly bother me that the ends of the belt are crimped. So if this belt fails, am I going to be able to get a crimp on there sufficient to be strong enough to cope with a new piece of belt? It might be that I have to come up with a different way of attaching the end of the belt if I have to replace this belt. But I'm not going to worry about that at this stage. So you can't see it very well. Under here there's two, I'll just tilt it in, you can see it better. So under here there's two slots in the extruder frame, in the extruder housing, and the belt goes into that. So the way it goes is like so. This then threads through the motor housing. This is where it goes around the gear. It then goes over the top of the gear, and then it sits in the channel of the alley extrusion, aluminium or aluminum. That's a bit awkward to get through. It might have been better to put that in before you put the rails on, because it was a bit difficult to get under the roller. So you should put it onto the tooth gear on the motor, and then goes back round, and then clip onto the other side of the extruder head. Slots into that slot. So that's really easy to fit. A bit fiddly to thread, but really easy to fit. So now we need to put the idler gear on. So this goes on the end of the belt, which is the idler gear. And the idea is that then you can pull that out and adjust the tension. And again, it uses these T-nuts, which allows you to sort of infinitely adjust it along the length of the bar. So if I put that on, thread the belt around the pulley at the end, just twizzle that around so you guys can see. So the pulley, the two bearings go through the belt like so, and that goes in there. And then you tighten that up so the T-nuts rotate in the. Now, from what I've heard, you have to put quite a bit of tension on this belt. So it might be something I have to adjust later. So that's pretty good. Quite like that. So that's step 8, 12. So step 9. I haven't got a clue. So step 9 is the lead screw. Now, because I didn't put the lead screw in, it meant it's gone right down to the bottom, which means that when it comes to putting this lead screw in, I've not got to thread it all the way. Now he's talking about here to loosen this, which I don't quite like. It says not to tighten too tight. Okay. So I'm just going to loosen it a little bit just to one of the things that was I highlighted from the internet was this not being parallel, so that when it goes in, it doesn't actually line up with the motor. You can see how that's falling on its own accord. It might be okay. How far has that gone down inside that? Yeah, that's not been there very far at all. That actually feels okay. Tighten that from the top. Just give it a little nick. Actually feels pretty good. Quite happy with that. So step 10 is to attach the bar across the top. So this is why I've left these free, because I don't want to force these. I want to make sure that they line up properly, because that's where everything could go wrong if it doesn't. So this attaches with M5 by 25s, which are these. So I need 4 of these with the relevant spring washers, which are nicely already attached. I'm just going to put 1 in each end to start with. Make sure it lines up, which it does absolutely perfectly. That's great. So far I am really impressed with the build quality of this printer. Everything looks like it's lining up properly. The quality of the fittings is really good. I don't quite know how much time this has taken yet. So this around now I'm going to tighten everything up. I'm going to tighten the top extrusions, and I'm going to flip it onto its side and tighten the ones up at the bottom as well. You see, that gives you a reasonable place to pick it up with. Just put it on the side. Oh, sorry about that. And I'm going to tighten the ones up on the bottom. final part of this step is the two extrusion caps. And they click on the end like so, just to make it a bit nicer. It's actually got Creality 3D stamped into the end cap, so they obviously have those custom made. So they've actually put some money into this, have these things injection molded. Spool roll holder. We must be getting close to the end. So, spool roll holder. Now on the end of 3, this is designed to mount on the top. Starting to get some weight in it, so it's actually designed to mount on the top like so. There's a guy on Thingiverse who's come up with a bracket which you can attach it down here that mounts it like sort of so off the back. I actually quite like that, so for the time being I'm going to mount it on the top, but one of the first things I'm going to print is this adapter to mount it on the back. I think it's a better place for it, so that's what I shall be doing in the future. I'll probably do a video at some point of that being printed and attaching it. So this is fairly simple. So M5 by 8. M5 by 8. There's 2 of these here. And 2 of these M5 T-nuts. I'm not in the camera shot. So those T-nuts just drop on the bottom like so. 2 of those. And then this goes like so. And that goes on the other end like that. This then mounts on the top. And fastens in. So that's the final part of the mechanical build. So now it's down to the wiring. So step 12 is the wiring. So let's work through that. It's quite a lot of it. Right, so let's have a look. So Z-axis limit switch, so it's this one here. So Z. That plugs into there. That's quite nice, quite just a piece of cable just long enough. So Z motor. That's this one's the Z motor. I'm just going to take a bit of time to make sure that these are not going to get tangled up, which will allow me to route cables nicely. So set that to there. Okay. So this ribbon cable goes to the, what we've got here, we've got E motor, the X motor, and the X limit switch. So E for extruder, that goes in there. Turn the around so you can see. Extruder motor, E. This is the X motor. That plugs in underneath here. And then that limit switch, which is the X limit switch. Plugs into there, so that's that limit switch, so that's that wired. I'm not quite sure how it's supposed to go. I suppose it needs cable tie into the. Didn't actually show you the best way to do the cable management. Burn tube. Plugs into there. It's quite slippy. It's very difficult to push in. That's it. And this is the power supply. Just with the camera going quite a bit here. Now these are nice connectors onto the power supply. That works really well. I'll just do something about managing that. Get cable tie around the that's it. I'll do that later. I'll probably do cables management later on. And finally, we have the display. So I said didn't put this on at the time because of not knowing which one to plug it in. I've just confirmed it does go into that one there. So if that was wired on, it'd be a bit difficult to get it because it would be behind the extrusion like that. So I thought to myself it would be much easier to have that off before I attached it. Just need to look back through the notes and just find out what 25/8, which is these. So that's it. That's it all wired up. So what I'm slightly bothered by is the cable management. I'd like to sort of do something about that. So I don't know how far this would go up. I'm guessing the cable management you can do by sort of joining those together. That's what I might do. Use the cable ties that they supply. You do get a fair amount. 2, 4, 6, get 10 cable ties. I'm not too worried about say wasting them, but using them and then changing my mind later. But what I don't want is to have a scenario where the cables get tangled or get in the way of the heat bed. And I thought I'll just take the time out of the way. So I've cabled that one to the Z-axis motor, which because that's a nice short ribbon cable, that takes it nicely out of the way. Now if I do the same again at the top here, we'll see how that works. You start to print. Could be wrong, could be a bad way of doing it. I think what I'll do is I'll probably try this a bit and might do another video later on once I've decided the best way to do cable management. So that's the end of 3. Now, one of the things I did say we're going to look at is wobbling. So it wobbles very slightly on the frame here. I think I can adjust that. I need a bigger Allen key. Just bear with me and I shall go and fetch a bigger Allen key. So I've got that screwdriver with a larger Allen key bit in it. They're tight. Actually lifting that up just on one side. That's solved the problem. I'll just put that back up. Sorry you can't see that, but I've had to move it to a part of the bench that I know is not flat. Yeah, so that's better. So this is my Ender 3, fully built. It's taken about an hour. And that's interesting. My bench is not on the floor. Okay. Now this is where the instructions stop, and there's nothing in the notes for what to do next. I think first thing is to plug it in and turn it on and see if we let the smoke out. Well, we're on. Let's see if it will phone. Just it makes a lot more noise when it's not on the bench. Sorry, it's a lot more noise when it's on the bench. It obviously echoes through the bench. Might have to fix it. That's good, that's handy. Okay, so we're way off where the bed needs to be. Control. So I noticed when you controlling the screen, so you use the knob to control the screen. If you just do one or two clicks, it doesn't always respond as quickly as it should. So that's the step I noticed disabled. So now I can level the bed. So following the information that you find on the internet, you simply to adjust the bed such that a piece of paper just grabs on the nozzle just grabs on a piece of paper as you tweak it. That's too tight. Just go through all four corners. I suppose this is going to take a little while to do 2 or 3 times around. The model is only just going to mess up now. Too tight. Good. Okay. Outside. This is going to be one of these skills that you have to learn, because just how close does it actually need to be, and what constitutes a slight drag. Okay. So when I just do the back, that's all to the front. I've done this cold, so that's probably wrong. Again. I think that's actually just touching that. I don't know how precise you have to do with this. So just switch to preheat PLA. So the temperature nozzle is coming up. I'm going to use my pre-filling. I'm probably going to start by printing the bulk. It comes on the SD card. But there's not nothing that they've got. I'm not worried. I just want to see whether it actually starts to print. Print it up to 25 degrees. Oh, it's not going to get you printing more. Just using the container. 147. Starting to smell. Yes, and that's on too. So 185 now. There's a little bit of a treat. So use the hot. Okay. Don't touch the fan on the side, let it jump. So my understanding is that you thread this through the Bowden tube, which you can whatever dry, you cut the end of the filament to a slight point. That now will make it easy to thread. Vertically. Okay. Push it in. Then you push it until you start seeing filament extruding. There we are. Let's film it again. Okay, so I think what happened was I pushed down on the stepper motor when I was doing the extruding. So I'm going to find my SD card. It was in one of those bags. That's not a good time, is it? SD card goes into here. That's too low in the corner now. Because I tweaked it. I'll disable the steppers again and just tweak it into the corner. Now I've got press the button again. Okay. So I've found it. And I'm going to put it okay. Okay. Oh, okay. On my computer and see whether it's working. Yeah, it's on there. That's good. The card's okay. Oh. Print SD card. Oh, that's interesting. Green. It's just preheating. Preheating to 200. Okay, well that's not working. So I thought that's something wrong there. I think I'm too low. I'm not low enough against the bed. The bed's a bit loose. Might need to sort that out. So let's just try again. Way too close. No, that might be better. Appears to be printing better. Good. Can I hit the bin in this corner? Okay. So I think this is going to take a bit for me to sort out what the problems are. Functionally, it seems to be working as a printer. It appears to be okay out the front, not the back. So I just need to tweak it a bit at the back. It's definitely printing okay at the front. And it appears to have stuck to the build plate. But the back's not so good. Okay, so I think we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, like it, thumbs up if you like it. If you dislike it, thumbs down. Please subscribe. And if you want to see more like this, hopefully we'll get this problem sorted out. And I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching.